circus someday. People will say it's a fine one, son. Gonna have a three-ring circus someday. People will come from miles around. Lions, tigers, acrobats and jugglers and clowns galore. Tightrope walkers, pony riders, elephants and so much more. Guess I got the idea right here at school. Felt like a fool when they called my name, talking about the government and how it's arranged, divided in three like a circus. Ring one, executive. Two is legislative, that's Congress. Ring three, judiciary. See, it's kinda like my circus. Step right up and visit ring number one. The show's just begun, meet the president. I am here to see that the laws get done. The ringmaster of the government. On with the show! Hurry, hurry, hurry to ring number two. See what they do in the Congress. Passing laws and juggling bills. Oh, it's quite a thrill in the Congress. Focus your attention on ring number three. The judiciary's in the spotlight. The courts take the laws and they tame the crimes, balancing the wrongs with your rights. No one part can be more powerful than any other is. Each controls the other, you see, and that's what we call checks and balances. Well, everybody's act is part of the show, and no one's job is more important. The audience is kinda like the country, you know, keeping an eye on their performance. Ring one, executive. Two is legislative, that's Congress. Ring three, judiciary. See, it's kinda like my circus. My circus, gonna have a three-ring circus someday. People will say it's a fine one, son. But until I get it, I'll do my thing. With government, it's got three rings.
Our government has three branches.
Why, you may ask? Because in 1787, the leaders of the states gathered to write the Constitution to tell how the new nation would be governed.
And the leaders of the states wanted a strong and fair national government.
But they also wanted to protect individual freedoms and prevent the government from abusing its power.
And they believed that they could do this by having three separate branches in the government.
The three branches are the executive, the legislative, and the judicial branch.
This separation is described in the first three articles or sections of the Constitution.
Article 2, Section 1 of the Constitution states, "Before he enter on the execution of his office, he shall take the following oath or affirmation.
I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will faithfully execute the office of the President of the United States and will to the best of my ability preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States."
Here's what you need to know about the executive branch. The president is the head of the executive branch, which makes laws official. The president is elected by the entire country, serves a 4-year term. The president approves and carries out laws passed by the legislative branch. He appoints or removes cabinet members and officials. He negotiates treaties and acts as head of state and commander-in-chief of the armed forces.
The executive branch also includes the vice president and other officials such as members of the cabinet. The cabinet is made up of the heads of the 15 major departments of the government. The cabinet gives advice to the president about important matters.
What makes the Supreme Court so supreme?
The Supreme Court is the head of the judicial branch.
Unlike a criminal court, the Supreme Court rules whether something is constitutional
or unconstitutional. The judiciary of the United States has two different systems of courts. One system consists of the federal courts, whose powers derive from the Constitution and federal laws. The other includes the courts of each of the 50 states, whose powers derive from state constitutions and laws. Some have described the two court systems existing side by side as a dual court system.
So in our court, Supreme Court, we have 9 justices. 8 of those are associate, and then 1 of them is the Chief Justice. The 9 justices are all nominated by our president and approved by the Senate. The justices have no term limits, and all of the decisions of the Supreme Court are final and no other court can overrule them.
The first time that the Supreme Court declared a law passed by Congress as unconstitutional was in the Marbury v. Madison case in 1803.
The most important duty of the legislative branch is to make the laws. So first the laws are written, then discussed. What do you think of this?
Oh yeah, it's pretty cool.
Good. Then it's voted on. All those who want the bill to become a law say aye.
Aye.
And that's how a bill becomes a law.
Cool.
Then
The legislative branch is made up of the 2 houses of Congress, the Senate and the House of Representatives. There are 100 senators in the Senate, 2 from each state. They are elected by states, and they serve 6-year terms. There are 435 representatives in the House of Representatives. The number of representatives is based on its population. For example, California has many more representatives than Rhode Island. They are also elected by states, but they only serve 2-year terms. There are 18 enumerated powers, and they are the power to levy taxes, to borrow money, regulate commerce, coin money, punish counterfeiting, punish piracies, declare war, raise and support armed forces, provide a navy, regulate the armed forces, call forth the militia, organize the militia, naturalize citizens, establish post offices, secure patents and copyrights, establish courts, and govern the District of Columbia. The last enumerated power is the Elastic Clause. This clause gives Congress the right to make all laws necessary and proper to carry out the powers expressed in the other clauses of Article 1.